If you say that the Quran is not the word of God, then why is Islam the fastest growing religion in the world?
What happens when Muslims ask tough questions about Christianity and Islam? In this video, Dr. J. Smith faces 5 bold challenges, and his answers just might shock you. From questions about the Bible's reliability to the rise of Islam, and whether Jesus can be found in the Old Testament. This is what happens when faith meets scrutiny.
The next question that I have here is actually addressed to Jay. Jay, what do I have to do to become a Christian?
I could have written that question myself. That's the beauty. And when you look at Islam and Christianity, you can see that there's quite a difference in the answer of that. To be a Christian, it doesn't cost you anything other than to believe that Jesus died and rose again. That's it. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to do 5 prayers. You don't have to do the Ramadan fast. You don't have to work off your salvation. You don't have to work off your barakah. You have an assurance that you are saved just by believing that Jesus died on the cross and that he rose again. Now, Islam can't do that, and that's one of the reasons why you have all these rules, regulations, and all these things to retain that salvation. You have to do all types of barakah. And it's fascinating to me when you're looking back and forth at all the religions that have come down that have been made by men. They all follow from that same paradigm. Credits and debits. You work off your debits by adding your credits. Christianity says we can't do a thing about it. There's not a thing we can do. It's all been done for us. Because in order to get into God's presence, you have to be holy. And there's no way we can be holy. There's no way we can attain that. And it has to be he who was sinned against who actually paid that price. And who do you think did it? Jesus did it. That's why I love my Jesus. He's done it already for us. It's a free gift. That's what it takes. Not a thing you can do. All you have to do is accept what Christ has done for you. Come on home.
Yeah. This is a question to Dr. Shabir Ali.
No, he gets a rebuttal.
Respond?
Sorry?
He gets a rebuttal.
Oh, yes, my apologies.
Yeah, at first I thought I wouldn't say anything, let Jay answer his question, but because he made some comments about Islam and earning barakah, I want to say something about that. How do you know that Jesus rose from the dead for you? Well, that's because the Gospels say so. But how do you trust the Gospels? Because they're inspired. How do you know they're inspired? Well, we don't even know who wrote them. It turns out that the Gospels actually wrote their stories to convince us that Jesus rose from the dead, but when you look at the stories carefully, you see that the contradictions between them show that the stories are contrived, and there is no good evidence that Jesus actually rose from the dead. The Muslim belief that God raised Jesus into heaven is based on the Quran. But if we were to leave the Quran aside and look at the Gospels, we would have no confidence that Jesus actually rose from the dead. You say that you don't have to do any good work, then why did Paul say work out your own salvation with fear and trembling? Why does the book of Revelation say that when Jesus comes back, he's going to judge people according to the works that they have done? So to Matthew's Gospel. It's clear that in the early communities, some thought that you do actually have to do work because it was not clear that Jesus actually died for the sins of people.